Hey guys, how's it going? Heidi back again. I'm over here in Iowa. So I left Ohio yesterday. It was in the 60s and the 70s. I had to put on sandals and a t-shirt. I drove across the Midwest over here to Iowa. Actually, I drove all the way across Illinois yesterday until I got to the Mississippi River. I stopped there. I took my 10-hour break. Like I said, the weather was lovely, nice and warm. It was so warm last night that I had the windows open in the truck while we slept. Got up this morning, a little overcast, but it was pretty nice and warm. Then I started driving across the river through Iowa. Came over here, kind of to the further western part of Iowa. Some rain. Next thing I noticed, it starts snowing. And I'm like, at first, I didn't know if it was snow. I found it hard to believe. I don't know. I mean, it was 70 degrees, when I started out my day. I drove 4 hours. And it was snow, and the temperature had dropped down to 35. They got a lot of snow here a little while ago. I mean, it was coming down pretty good. Now it's warmed up a bit, and it's started to melt off. Anyhow, so I came over here to this Pepsi place. This is where I'm delivering in the morning. So I'm just parked on the side street here. Got here pretty early. So I'm just trying to catch up on some paperwork. Clean up the truck a little bit, rest, catch up on some news. Anyhow, I'm catching up on some news, and I'm listening to these reports from a couple days ago where they're talking about Social Security. So yeah, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. I've mentioned Social Security before, but I didn't elaborate. I mean, obviously, it's something that's on everyone's mind at some point in time. So for me, on a personal level, I have 9 years until I reach the minimum age requirement in order to receive full benefits, which is age 67. So that's 9 years for me. And that's been on the back of my mind for a few years now, looking toward when I can retire and get the full benefits from Social Security. Try to get myself in a situation where I own a property. I haven't been able to do that, and so obviously I bought that van and I'm building it. I'm just gonna live in this truck. The truck with my animals. Hey buddy. And stay in my van for the next few years. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to live in this truck and live in my van because rent is too expensive. I could afford to have an apartment, but the first thing is I'm only home anywhere from 5 to 6 or 7 days each month. Doesn't make sense to pay rent if I'm only there, less than a week out of every month. Rent is exorbitantly ridiculous. It just seems like a waste of money. I might as well just flush my money down the toilet. So paying rent doesn't feel like a good option. Buying a home is completely unaffordable. Like I said, I reached the retirement age in 9 years. I can't even think of how I could possibly buy a house and have it paid off in 9 or 10 years. And I can't afford to go into retirement and have a mortgage payment. And 10 years from now, if I'm sitting on a mortgage now, even if I got a mortgage now, within the next 10 years, I'm going to be paying much higher homeowners insurance, much higher property taxes. So I was just sitting here listening to the news. They're talking about how all these Social Security offices are being closed. They're trying to move everything onto the internet. It looks like there's going to be, over the next several months, pretty severe disruptions in payment delivery for senior citizens. And if things are this bad now, what's it going to look like when I'm ready to collect in 9 years? I mean, I don't even have an answer for that. But anyway, I'm just sitting here on this side street in this small town in Iowa. Very, very, very small town. I don't even think there's a downtown. I think it's just one of those towns that's just one traffic light type deal, or maybe 2 or 3 traffic lights. Stop biting me. I'm just sitting here looking out the window, thinking to myself, this is my life. This is what I do every day. This is basically my house. I'm sitting in this truck. This truck is my house. And from the way things look, I'm probably going to be living in this truck and in perpetuity. I mean, if I can't retire in 9 years, I guess I'll just live in the truck and work driving a truck until I drop dead. I don't know. I mean, I think it sucks. I've been working since I was 17 years old. I took off approximately 2.5 years when I had children, but I had to go right back to work. I didn't have any substantial time off. I've worked all this time, so 40 years. I've been paying into Social Security. And am I going to be able to get that money back at age 67 when I need it? I don't think so. I think, and the other thing is, you know, I've been in the working class. I haven't been a high wage earner. I mean, I can take responsibility for my own situation. You know, maybe I should have done things differently. I should have gotten into a higher paying job. I should have gotten a degree. I should have done this, should have done that. But this is where I'm sitting right now. And I mean, I'm in good company. Millions, tens of millions of Americans have zero retirement savings, you know, and are probably going to get cut off. I just feel like we're being robbed. If you pay into the program over decades, in my case, 4 decades so far, wait a minute, let me get this right. Let's see, 58 minus 18. That's, 4 decades. And then by the time I would retire, I got 5 decades, 50 years of work. And I paid the money in, and I'm not going to get any of that money back. Or they're going to privatize it, and they're going to try to put it in the stock market. Which, in my view, if they want to privatize Social Security and put it in the stock market, I don't think we should be mandated to pay into that. I don't think that I should be forced to gamble my hard-earned money away on the stock market. And that's what 401k is. Period. I know people are like, well, if your company matches a certain amount, then you should put that much in. Yeah, any way you slice it, the fluctuations in the stock market cause you to lose money. And you can't get that money back when you need it. If you have an emergency, you need to pull some of the money out, you get heavily penalized. Plus, they're taking out fees all the time. I mean, there's plenty of documentaries about what a corrupt system the 401k is. That's why I do not participate. I do not participate in the 401k. I would rather take my money that I'm earning and invest it in land or real estate. At least I know I can get a return on that in the future. But putting your money into the stock market, and then you've got all these grifters in finance and in the banking industry and in the stock market that are just siphoning money away from hardworking people. No thanks. I don't want my money sitting there. I don't want my money sitting in a place where the stewards of my money are corrupt, greedy, wealthy multimillionaires and billionaires. I'm not into it. But anyway, getting back to talking about something a little more positive, I guess sitting in a truck like this, where I've got this beautiful 180 window going on, and I can look outside. I've got my refrigerator back there. I've got my clean clothes and my comfort. I got heat in here. We got air conditioning. I can think of worse situations. Will you stop biting me? Don't do that. Good boy. I think he wants a snack. You don't have to bite me to let me know you want a snack. I will get you a snack. Anyhow, these are my thoughts. I feel like if they're going to forcibly move or destroy our Social Security entitlement program, where we've paid into this program our entire working lives. Then they want to take that money and set it up into a privatized system where it's going to be gambled away in the stock market. I shouldn't have to continue paying into that. I don't want to pay into that. I would prefer to take that money. And I actually was looking at my pay stubs last week to get an idea, because this has been on my mind a lot lately because it's in the news, obviously. I'm paying out, on average, about $85 per week just into Social Security. Well, I'm pretty sure that's right. Part of that might be going into other things like Medicaid. But if I'm going to be paying that much money each week, I don't want it going into the hands of private investment. I'd rather keep that money for myself. That's an extra like $450 a month. $450 a month, I could take that money and save it. Or I could, I don't know, get my van built a little more quickly. I mean, I'm having to drag out this build over several months because every time I have a project on the van that's, going to cost me a few $100, I have to save up the money first. I have to save this money and then buy the materials and then throw it together. Or at least, the very least, I could take that money and put it back. And within a year or two, I could probably have enough money to buy a piece of land somewhere. That would be nice. Or I could have enough money to where I can go out and buy a really nice heavy-duty 1-ton dually pickup truck. If I could get my hands on one of those that's in really great shape, that's newer, I could start my own business hauling. And I would make more money than what I do here, and I would have a lot more time off work and a lot more freedom. Which is kind of an idea I have on the back burner, is to, once I get through this process of getting my van built and getting everything paid off on the van, and I'm in a debt-free situation, I want to save up my money and maybe look into getting one of those 1-ton dualies that I can use to, do some like small-time hauling on the side where I could earn as much or more as I earn right now on this job. And instead of the owner of this company taking most of the profits, I could have my own business and then I could take all the profits. That's all I got right now, guys. Just there. It's frustrating. I mean, I usually work at least 65 hours a week. You would think that, and I've been doing trucking on and off for 25 years. So you would think that, if I do all this work and I pay into the system, that when I'm of retirement age, I could get that money each month. But it's just not looking good, guys. We'll see what happens. All right, talk to you later. Bye.